People often ask me what my favorite meal is, and I always go to a simple roasted chicken. So that's what I'm going to do for you here today. We like to brine our chickens, so we're going to make a brine. The brine is 3.5% salt. We have some different flavoring, different aromats here. We have a bouquet garni, which has thyme, bay leaf, parsley. I've tied it nicely, but you don't have to tie it. You can just put that in the brine. We have garlic cloves that have been slightly crushed, some black peppercorns, some honey, some lemon, and of course our 3.5% salt. I want you to make the brine a couple hours ahead of time at least, so that it has a chance to get cold before we add our chicken to it. Okay, and then we're going to let that chicken brine for 8 hours, and then we're going to remove it. So let's start to prepare the chicken. The first thing I want to do is to remove the wishbone. Okay, and to remove the wishbone, it allows us to freely cut through the chicken breast without running into that wishbone. So you're just going to find the wishbone there, run your knife along the edge of it, exposing it. Okay, you can hear it, right? You can feel that, hear it going down. That's the wishbone. Then we're going to take our fingers and put it on the other side of that, so we can see we're grabbing that wishbone. Okay, removing it and then pulling it out. Okay, got our wishbones out. All right, we'll dispose of that. Then we're going to truss it. Now, do you have to truss it? Not necessarily, but it gives us an opportunity to keep it all uniform in shape, so that as it's roasting more consistently. We're going to take our butcher's twine here. And this is a very simple method for trussing. I'm going to bring it underneath the butt end there. We're going to cross our twine over, make a figure 8 underneath the legs. Okay, there. Okay, pull them in tight. Put pressure there, pushing in, and then bringing back. Okay, and then tying your legs through, or tying the twine underneath the neck in the back. Okay. I do a little slip knot. Gives me a little opportunity to tense it a little more. Remove the slip in the knot. I just tie another knot there. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to put my wings underneath my neck, and there we have our trussed chicken. So now we're take our trussed chicken and just going to put it in our brine. Okay. And let that go for 8 hours there. You can put that in the refrigerator. We're going to go ahead and prepare these beautiful vegetables. I'm very fortunate we got the garden across the street, so I've got some garden carrots. This is beautiful spring green garlic, which I love so much. You can substitute leeks for this if you want. They could be baby leeks. They could be large leeks that you're going to cut down to a smaller size. We have beautiful turnips from our garden, and then fennel bulb, which I really love. I love the anise flavor, but I love it more when it's roasted. We use it sometimes. We'll shave it into a salad, which is beautiful. But when it gets roasted, it gives a certain sweetness and anise flavor that I really like. So we're going to go ahead and cut up our vegetables and prepare the base for roasting our chicken. We have all of our vegetables. I'm just going to finish up them. Our carrot, we use most of the time in our restaurant what's called a green scrubby, just to pull off that exterior skin without having to peel it. It's a wonderful way to do carrots, asparagus, things like that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut them in half. We want all our vegetables to be approximately the same thickness so that they cook evenly. Fennel bulb, turnips, and then our green garlic. And there we have our vegetables already prepared. Next thing we're going to do is just season them with a little bit of salt and coat them with a little bit of oil. We use some grapeseed oil here. You can use any vegetable oil you like. I don't suggest using olive oil. Olive oil, when at high temperatures, loses the flavor. And if it's extra, especially if it's extra virgin olive oil, you don't want to use it. If it's a second press or a third press oil, then that's fine. It's just a vegetable oil. But any vegetable oil will do. Season with salt. And then just mix it up. Go ahead and put it in our roasting pan. Evenly distributing them, get a nice cushion, nice layer for your chicken to sit on. We've dried this chicken in our refrigerator for at least 2 days, and you can see how taut the skin is. It starts to change colors, it becomes translucent. When you press it like that, it wrinkles, and that's a good thing. So depending on your refrigerator at home, it could take 2 days, it could take 3 days. But you want to be able to dry it, which allows that chicken to cook more evenly and the skin become that beautiful golden crispy color that we love and that aroma that we like. Put our chicken there, and now this is a little game changer for you. It's a little bit of cheating, but this is something that the great chef Christian Delouvrier, who was one of our mentors. When I say one of our mentors, my generation, Christian's a great chef, and he always took a little bit of soy sauce and butter, melted it together, melted the butter into the soy sauce, and just lightly brush it on. Doesn't really require a lot. And it doesn't require to put any more on either during the cooking process, so it's not like basting it. Okay? Now you'll see the result of this when we pull out our beautifully roasted chicken. We're going to take a little salt. Let it rain down on our chicken a little bit. Okay. Preheated our oven to 450 degrees. We want to cook the chicken. If you have a temperature probe, it's about 160 degrees internally. And take it out and it'll rest and carry over another maybe 5 or 6 degrees. We're trying to get to that 165 temperature. It should take a roughly 45 to 50 minutes in a conventional oven. And that's basically it, very simple. In the oven she goes. Now we're going to turn it every 15 minutes. So we'll put a timer on for 15 minutes and then we'll turn the chicken, okay? Because there are hot spots in every oven. We want to make sure that the chicken cooks as evenly as possible. So we're just going to spin it around. Our beautifully roasted chicken here, it's been in for 50 minutes. Let's check the temperature. With our vegetables, nicely roasted there as well. My grandmother's way of checking for doneness, making sure the water or the juice runs out clear. Vegetables, no resistance. Beautiful. We're going to pull our chicken off and let it rest for a while. Okay. We're going to let that rest for 15 to 20 minutes. Roasted chicken resting here. Our vegetables, we'll keep those warm until we get ready to serve and enjoy our beautiful roasted chicken dinner. We can carve our chicken, very simple. Okay. You can see the beautiful color, the crispiness of the skin. This is what I love about roast chicken. It's just these different textures, the different flavors. The leg is different from the thigh is different from the breast. You have the Pope's nose here, which is always a favorite for people. So we're just going to remove the legs. Go ahead and split them with the joint. There was a question on my last video about the knives. So these are Kangshin. It's a Chinese knife company, fairly new. The knife that I used on my lamb dish was a Kangshin special edition with the American flag. Remember, we moved that wishbone, so it allows me just to cut straight down from the breast. Beautiful. Of course, the chef always gets the oysters, which are underneath the leg. Lovely. A little finishing salt. There you have it, roasted chicken with garden vegetables. Simple and so satisfying. I invite you all back next week where I'm going to do one of my favorite desserts, the lemon sabayon pine nut crust tart from Bouchon. We'll see you then.